Hello. Today we're going to open a wide range of cars. We have some Japanese cars, a German car, and some American cars and trucks. We have everything from Hot Wheels through Greenlight to Inno64 and one Tarmac. I assume it's a Hobby 64 from Tarmac because the wheels don't look like they turn. We also have a Tomica. Well, let's open this BMW M3, which is one of my favorite cars. And this is in a nice racing livery. So let's see what we get from Tarmac. Try and be quiet here. Didn't really work. Okay. Now this one is the Tour de Course 1987 winner, and it has the drivers' names there. I won't, Bernard Big Win, Jean-Jacques Len. I guess I didn't butcher them that bad. They looked in it initially like I might butcher them. It's got a really tiny antenna, and I always say, oh, it's got a really tiny antenna, I should be careful not to break it. And then on a recent car, I actually did break it off without noticing. I went back later and I just was like, where's the antenna? I couldn't find it. Oh God, what does Tarmac make it? Okay. It's not Tarmac's fault, it's my own fault. Also quite loud. Also quite loud. The side view mirrors on this one are practically, oh my God, non-existent, which is unexpected. So let's take a bit of a look. Yeah, they're very small. Maybe they are on the real version of this car. Okay. The front end looks good. The BMW badge isn't lined up with the grille. Straight. Tour de Course. I do really like this livery though. Racing. That's I hear they're good. They're good at what they do. Racing BMW. Bilstein. Modal. What's that now? Hard to tell. A reasonable-ish, a moderately reasonable sized gear shift, some detail, some harnesses on the seats, a roll cage that doesn't connect to anything. I think I've seen that before on Tarmac 64, or on a Hobby 64 from Tarmac. I do like the rally badge or sticker. Okay, so that wheel turns. This one doesn't move at all though. Yeah. E30. That's the good one. Are you gonna believe that fairy tale? Yeah. The Hobby 64 always goes for accurate stance rather than movable wheels, which is good, you know, if you're a model collector. Is so if you're a tiny little car collector primarily. I mean, I guess that's what an antenna looks like. Yeah, this is kind of a, you know, it's an okay M3. It's not, you know, it's not winning my heart or anything. The taillights are good. A nice variety of color. I like that the rally badge is a little crooked. I'm not sure what else to say. I love this car, but I do like the simplicity of the basic livery here. The way this 10 is done, the modal going into the red, driver's names. I think that the hood is a little busy. It would have been nice with just the rally. But, you know, racing's paying the bills. You gotta give them their due. Okay, so let's be careful not to break the antenna off. And move it aside. I just noticed on the floor that this BMW M3 Tour de Course 1987 winner, driven by Bernard Béguin and Jean-Jacques Len, is a limited edition production model. And I am now a part of the model car revolution. It's number 313, which, at least, aside from being a completely meaningless number, is a palindrome, or would be if they didn't include the 0. So, should we do the fancy ones all at once? Yeah, let's do the fancy ones all at once. So, Inno64. I picked this up because I honestly don't know a lot about this car. The Honda Fit RS, but it's a kicky little car, isn't it? This is the kind of car that I really like. It's just small and peppy, and yeah, this is the Hong Kong Special Edition, licensed by Honda, tuned by June Auto, exact scale ornamental model for adult collector, singular. I think that's a bit weird. Not suitable for children under 14 years of old. No, 14 years of old, under 14 years old. I can talk. I can, normally. Some days it's easier than others. Now, I always make fun of it for saying not suitable for children under 14 years old. I'm like, oh, because 13-year-olds are crazy, but I actually took one and I gave it to a 13-year-old, and Jesus, you have never seen such carnage. And at the end of it, I was the only one left standing to explain what had happened. I just pretended I hadn't seen the warning. you know, because I was like, it's a dinky. Kids love dinkies. But oh my god. So those warnings aren't there for nothing. Let's just say that. They are, yeah, they're not fucking around. Always cut away from yourself. Okay, I like Inno64 better than I like Hobby 64. Tarmac Hobby 64, which is what the BMW M3 was. However, I like Global 64 by Tarmac better than I like Inno64. Oh, this is interesting. The bottom's frosted. So here we go. The Honda Fit RS, tuned by June Auto Mechanic. Already, I am seeing things that I like very much about this car. This is fun. This is fun. I do it a little and then it doesn't work. Then I do it a little more and it doesn't work. Okay. I would be a little annoyed if I went to a mechanic and they put their name in huge letters on the side of my car. But look at these wheels. They're like deep chrome blue on them. That's nice. That's nice. Machine Shop Auto Works. It's got his website. I'd be like, dude, I just wanted my oil changed. They'd probably charge you for it too. That Honda badge isn't on straight at all. There's the June Auto Mechanic logo again. I have no idea what Norspec VSR means. What's over here? RS Fit. So let's look at the car, because this is a fun little car. 4-door hatchback, but like small and fun. I like it. It's kind of ridiculous little spoiler. You know, there's some details inside. The seats have different colors. Wheels don't turn at all, obviously. It simulates the exhaust going through. Pretends it goes underneath things and whatnot. Like it thinks we're fools, which we are not. I mean, I guess those could be brake discs. This one's also not really on straight. That's okay. What do I care? What do I care about anything? The license plate's crooked. The headlights look okay though. There's mirrors in the side view mirrors. So that's cool. Oh, there's June's name again on I don't know, is this his own personal fucking car? Because I'd be okay with if my car said my name all over it. But otherwise, I would I'd get a new mechanic. I don't know. I mean, this model, and I don't know, I know it doesn't make me part of the model car revolution like the other one did, but it just makes me want to have a model of the actual car in factory colors, because it seems like a cool car. It does. And I don't know, maybe Atomic Limited Vintage makes one, And that one at least would roll. Because this is, I just find myself a little annoyed at the livery on this one. I should say that I may be a little harsher in my critiques of these cars, or at least less enthusiastic than I sometimes am, because I have a bit of a headache. I'm having a bit of a day. However, I've been waiting almost since I started doing videos to open this one, because I don't know why I've been waiting. I've opened a lot of Inno64s, but this one it was one of the very first ones I got, and I don't know what that sound was. Everything is on mute. Fairlady Z, Inno64, Nissan Fairlady Z, S30. Oh look, you can see me. Hello. Yeah, it's got this nice beach background. And let's take this out. I think the beach background's gonna fall down. Yep. It's a separate little card in there. All right, let's take this off, because the paint on this looks gorgeous. Even before I take it off the thing, I want to look at the paint, because, oh my God, it just looks amazing. See, this is why, this is an example of why I got into Inno64s. Like, when they're on, they are on. I mean, they can't take complete credit. Oh, there's mirrors in the side view mirrors, actual reflective. They can't take complete credit because, I mean, the Fairlady Z is a gorgeous car. But let's get it off here. They can't take complete credit, but they certainly are doing it justice here. That was unnecessarily loud, I apologize. And now I'm just holding it while I deal with the screw, so that I do not lose it and then forget that I lost it. Okay. Oh, it's gorgeous. Look at this door handle. It's cast up underneath as well. It's got the lock. There's badging there. There's a lock on the gas filling door thing. I should look up what that's called, because every time I talk about it, I sound stupid. I can't even tell if the backlights are lensed, but they look great. The bottom is nothing to write home about. This tire is a little bit off. Actually, a couple of the tires are a little bit off. Wait a second. Oh, it rolls. I think this might be the first Inno64 I've ever had that rolls. And it rolls well. Doesn't have shocks or anything, but that's okay. Wow. No opening parts. Does look like it might have a detailed dash. Right-hand drive. There's some detailed molding on the dash. It's hard to see in there. Defroster lines on the back window are small enough that they seem to scale. separate pieces for the windshield wipers. You can see, because I just almost ripped one off. This paint is so good. The wheels look great. I'm trying to see if these are moving with the wheels. It's very difficult to tell because they're not perforated and I don't see a caliper. But the wheels, the car rolling is, wow. I like everything about this. The rivets along the wheel well on the front and the back from the bodywork. Just every detail is just so. I did it again. I'm used to gripping by the window, but these are they're so delicate because they're just little tiny pieces of separate plastic. I really don't want to rip them off. Does that window not quite meet? I can't tell. And if I can't tell, then it doesn't matter. The handle on this side, also amazing. Yeah, I'm just looking at the same details over and over again. This is a piece of work. This is, wow. Wow. It rolls. Sorry, it rolls. Okay, now before the green lights, let's do one Hot Wheel and one Tomica because I have the same car. This is the 1990 Acura NSX, and this is the Honda NSX Type R. So we've got some branding differences, and I'm not sure what the Type R difference is. But they're relatively the same car. And so this is a Tomica Premium, not a Tomica Limited Vintage or a basic Tomica. And I think that this one is I was going to say the most comparable to Hot Wheels, but it's more comparable to a premium Hot Wheels. And there's a little thing. I usually make a joke about not being able to read it. I'm not going to this time. There's no moving parts on this one. Oh, the paint has a really subtle sparkle to it. The wheels are very simple. It definitely has shocks. Oh, it definitely rolls. Plastic wheels, but they've got those rails that I really like. They keep it very smooth. And it's got, these like cool red bucket seats in there. That's a nice, and sometimes it doesn't work, and sometimes it does, molding the rear view mirror into the windshield like that. But I think here it works. I love this huge dome back window. I think that's really great. Let's take a look at the tail light, which is, well, that's very strange, isn't it? The Honda badging, but also I think it's inserted, but I think it's like a matte semi-transparent plastic. because you can see other colors through it. And it's definitely not the same. It's definitely like got a break from the yellow around it. That's very strange. So this is in scale 160. So it's probably not going to be the same size as the Hot Wheel. And actually, there's nothing on this except for these great shocks. There's a lot of travel distance, which makes me happy. Aside from those shocks, there's not actually anything on this that Hot Wheels couldn't do. It's got, well, except for the lensed taillights, because it's got painted front lights and, you know, painted detail in the back, but there's nothing on top. Oh, I guess technically that's on top, the little Honda badge, but so there's front and back detail, which is, Hot Wheels can do that. Hot Wheels does 3 as well, so they could do the top, front, back, and top. And I've seen Hot Wheels do windshield wipers details like that. So it'll be interesting to see how they do this car. I've got this, and it's 2002 because it's got it was designed by Ryu Asada, and when he died, for the whole year, all of his designs came with this Ryu's Rides tag in tribute. So let's see how Hot Wheels does with it. I do like the blue quite a lot. And they've got, yeah, they went for side tampos instead of the front, which is not, like, that little line is not as good as having headlights. I mean, okay, so those headlights are down, but, you know, actually, you know what, I can live with that, actually. The headlights are down on the top. Yeah, it doesn't have, I guess it doesn't on this one either. I was going to say it doesn't have door handles, but this one also just has a little dot. And I'm not familiar enough with the actual car. Okay, so one thing that this one does is it shows an engine in the molding through the back window. It has a semi-transparent, it's a little darker than the other windows. Like, all of this is window. Which is very cool. Yeah, it says Ryu there instead of NSX. I mean, you know, wouldn't say NSX anyway, so it's just a design choice and pays tribute to the designer of the Hot Wheel. It says Acura, which is what they called them over here, I think. It's a left-hand drive as opposed to a right-hand drive. I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, I think I'm going to prefer the Tomica one just because of the suspension, and the colored interior. It does not, however, show the engine, and I don't know if the real car does or not. I mean, obviously that would be kind of uncomfortable to drive around with, not having the engine covered, but it is kind of a cool detail on the Hot Wheel. Yeah, there's no break between the seats and the engine. That would be kind of a nightmare in real life. So this is 160, and it's the exact same size as this. Also, there's some bodywork on the Hot Wheels, the wheel wells come out a bit. They're a little fat. I don't know if that's a different year or because most of the rest of it seems identical. These are both cool cars. You know, one of them costs a little more than the other. But I think it was only $5 as opposed to, I think this one cost me $2 at Walmart. So, they're both very cool. Yeah, and it's a cool car. Obviously they're not, you know, like this or anything in terms of levels of detail or anything, but I do love those shocks in the Tarmac Premium. Okay. Let's open the other Hot Wheels and then move on to the 3 Greenlights. So, in a recent video, I opened one of these 82 Skyline R30s, and it was all gray, so there's 3 pieces here. The top, which is gray, the middle, which is black, and the bottom, which is black. And the middle, which is black, is a part of the interior of the car, which is also black. On the one that I had, which I tried to find for this video, but I couldn't, the interior was gray, and so it had this like gray line all down the middle of the car, and it was like this matte plastic gray, and it was so ugly. It was very ugly. And so I wanted to get a hold of one that had a black line. And it turns out that in its original casting, it did. And so I picked one up at the flea market of all places. And I think that it really, there's a little bit of paint problems here, but that's okay. I think that it really shows off the car a lot better. Like it looks way better. So these headlights are actually the windshield glass. You can't tell on this one because it's really dark glass. But I have one as well with clear glass, and you can tell definitely on that one. So for the 3 sides of paint, they decided on the sides and the back, which I think is okay, especially when you've got the glass headlights. Choosing the back for paint is good, because then you basically are getting 4 sides. RS Turbo. Yeah, I like the gold. I mean, this is a very cool car. Does the Hot Wheels version excite me in any way? No. It's definitely better than the gray, the one with the gray through line, which was, I don't know who was, like, it's kind of a cool idea, because you can have a bumper that's a color, and then you use the bottom for the bottom of the car, and so you can get a little extra detail. Like here, the spoiler and the bumper could be different colors. So it's a smart design idea. It's just in practice, black is really the only, or chrome. I think a chrome interior and a chrome bumper obviously would work, but otherwise, yeah, black and chrome are really all you're gonna get away with, or different colors of chrome. You know, gold chrome would be cool for like a special one. because otherwise they're just gonna be like, it's just gonna look like a fantasy car. So it's a cool design decision, but it's also one that limits the car. Okay, and so I picked up Hot Wheels of, I cut the bottom off so that it would stand up straight at the beginning of the video. But it's the Bentley Continental GT3, which is, I'm gonna move the camera here, so prepare yourself, which is one of my favorite mini GT cast. I mean, I got a lot of them. That's not the GT3, but, and actually, I think that yeah, this looks like a green version of this blue one in terms of like the digital camo coming up color-wise. But anyway, let's take a look at it. The thing about this car that I love the most is the Bentley, and they do it well. They do it really well here. I wish it had front detail, painted detail on the front for the lights, but the grill is really good. They did it well, and they've got the Bentley logo, the flying B, and they have the Bentley on the. So I think doing the top actually isn't a bad idea, right? Because the Bentley on the spoiler is pretty important. It's got that great silhouette. This is actually better than I thought it was going to be. I'm actually impressed with this rendering of the Bentley GT3. Yeah, and it kind of makes me want to. I only wanted to open one of them because I was worried that I wasn't going to like it. So give me 1 second. Because I actually bought two when I got it, so here's another one, and let's see how this one turns out. Okay, so this one's in white, which I was a little nervous about. So this is 100 years of Bentley, I assume. So the same year that this gold one ran, and also this green one. I assume that's what the 100 means. Often the numbers on Hot Wheels are, oh, the Flying B looks really good on this one. Yeah, let's see how precise they get, actually. I'm curious. Sorry, my hands aren't very, The silhouette, still amazing. They've got the back half of the window in an alternate or a thicker glass with the circle. So the molding, they got the circle on this side. Do they on this one? They do. So the molding of the window is really good here. This green one is very striking. This white one, it has a lot of nice qualities. I miss the Bentley here. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the Flying Bee, but again, you almost lose the, the white. If you're gonna do it in white, I think that you need to have some painted detail on the front, because you can barely even see the mold of the headlight, and you can really not see the Bentley grille, and that's what makes this car for me. The silhouette and the grille. So that's yeah, this green one, that's really nice. That's really nice. I think that they made some good decisions with that. This white one, I don't know. I don't like it. Yeah, I don't care for it. It's funny, the mini GT ones, I've liked all of them. And it's probably because they've gone with colors that are very different from one another and very strong. There's nothing like, no detail is like, of the casting or whatever is lost or fades away, which is the problem with this. Like, in making this into a, $1, $1.50 car or whatever, Hot Wheels really, they did wrong by the car. They did wrong by it. So it's actually like the gray version of this Skyline. Just like, if you're not gonna do it right, just don't do it. Just don't do it. Okay, so now we have a 1973 Datsun Baja Z, which is a really interesting looking casting, is why I picked it up. It's got the fog light on top, the single fog light, and then, the rally lights in the front. It's part of the Tokyo Torque series from Greenlight, and wow, these wheels. Because it's a small car, and it's got some wheels on it. And does it have an opening hood? It's got lines like it does. I'm not sure which way it's gonna open, to be honest. Okay, let's try this way. Like, does it open around the lights? Oh, come on. That's not gonna open. Okay, so maybe in another tooling it opens, but it does not in this one. Let's take a look. What do we got? The lights look great. I really like these wheels, and tires, which is often, with Greenlight, a real weakness. I like the names on the window. It's pretty minimal in terms of like sponsors and like livery, which is another thing that I really like. That taillight is a little wonky, but we'll just pretend that, it's been out rallying. It's a rally car. This is a really cool version of the Datsun. The Datsun Z. I don't know what Brie is. like, okay, so Datsun and Nissan are the same company, like like, so these cars are related for sure, right? Like they're both, like, is this like a rally version of the Fairlady Z, or is it, you know, some other kind of Z? What does it say again? Baja Z. So, I mean, I guess it's not a pretty lady, but it's pretty to me. This is really cool. Oh, I wish it rolled a little better. Those enormous wheels, though, because they spin really well. Oh, I lied. This one doesn't spin so well. I wonder what the problem is. This one spins well. Those enormous wheels are great. Like, when Hot Wheels does like a Baja Bug or whatever, I kind of roll my eyes. I think they look kind of stupid, but an off-road rally version of, like, you know, a gorgeous Japanese car is really cool to me. That's really cool to me. So good. That's very good. All right, this one is a hobby exclusive, and it's HELLDRIVERs from the World's Fair. Come to see the HELLDRIVERs at the New York World's Fair, 64 to 65. I don't know anything about this, but I assume that they drive like hell. And it's another one of these cars that I like, real life, like just down to earth, weird, you know, people doing cool things type of vehicle, you know, like that really appealed to me. Like, I think the history of cars is cool, but I also think the history of, it's a 1966 Dodge D100, but I also think the history of what people do with their cars, and like the, like, oh, that's really nice. The wheels are good. How's she roll? Oh, nicely. I love this HELLDRIVERs on the side. JK Productions, Dodge builds tough trucks. God, my car words are failing me today. Oh, that hitch is crooked. That hitch is no longer crooked. Bed. Look at the size of that bed. It's more than half the car, which is cool. It's got an opening engine. Nice. The lines are okay. The window is crystal clear, which is a little shocking for a Greenlight. I shouldn't trash talk them. Okay, so the wheels have some issues. Oh, actually, well, let's see, can I take this off? Oh, please don't let me ruin this car, because it is a cool car. Okay, I can get this back on. There we go. Is it going to ruin the aesthetic, though? Let's try. So I thought we had the second in a row flawless Greenlight, but the wheels, the white walls on the wheels, or the white lines, I guess you'd say. I always just call all of them white walls. Were not so perfect. Okay, so yeah, that still does it for me. That's still great. Let's do it to all four of them on camera, because why not? It's a home improvement show about cars. Lots of people live in their cars. You could put a king-size mattress in the back of this bad boy and still hell drive. I wonder what the hell drivers did. I should have looked it up. Like, did they do jumps and stuff? Can you imagine this thing doing a jump? The balance would be very tricky, I think, with this particular truck. That bed. Wow. I feel like things really turned around with that Inno64 Fairlady Z. I think we started getting some good cars and trucks. This is like the way Greenlight does their grills with the, like, I don't know, black wash or something. I've heard that said, that word. It's just they just look beautiful. Dodge. Yeah. This isn't quite fixed, but I feel like if I abuse it enough, it'll stay eventually. This is very cool, and it just has this, I keep saying the word charming, but just like this, feels like a charming piece of automotive history. And it's huge. Look at that. What else we got? What else we got? Look, the Bentley's probably big, right? It's ridiculous. All right, and we got one more, and I'm actually really excited about this one because I got a couple of them. Down on the Farm, Series 6. They're into Series 6 of this at Greenlight. So it says 1981 row crop tractor. I don't know why it doesn't say it anywhere on the packaging, but I looked it up, and this is a Ford. This text, you can pause and read it. It's just about how tractors are good for farming. Like, just so you know, tractors make farming easier. Oh, I don't want to damage anything pulling this out. So this is a little outside my wheelhouse in terms of collecting. But it's because it's got very thin parts that seem like they could. Also, I don't really know what to look for. It's got this big exhaust. My grandfather used to have a tractor on his farm, and we'd go down there in the summer, and he'd let us drive it. It was so cool, and it was very similar to this one. I tried to find one that was more like his, but you know, we'd drive it, or we'd sit up on the top like this, or we'd like hang from the back. It was all ridiculously dangerous, like everything was when I was a kid. He'd get the tractor and he'd like pull you know, like a trailer truck. It was like a flatbed thing, but it had sides and it was full of hay, and he'd pull it, and me and my brother would like hang from it and drag behind it while doing the Indiana Jones theme song. Do 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 do. Wildly dangerous. It's got these nice steps on the side. I don't know if you can see them. Steps to get up to the tractor. This seat's really cool. Doesn't look very comfortable, which is accurate. It's got rear view lights, which is for when you have to go down the road to deliver your hay or whatever you're delivering. It's got a hitch because obviously it's got these two little downward things, which is to keep it from doing a wheelie when it's drag racing. Now these do not roll. I do not know why. They turn. This one turns a little easier, but if you look, the wheel's not turning. The tire is turning on the wheel. The wheel's fixed. And then this wheel turns, but not very well. It's very confusing. These turn really well though. And so it's kind of a disappointment. I love this red. The paint job. Yeah, this is just, I mean your mileage is going to vary, I think, depending on how much you like farm equipment. I like farm equipment more than I think I realized. Something keeps moving down here and I don't know what it is. Yeah, I don't know. I guess because I spent a lot of time with it as a kid, and so this is not rolling. The front wheels are skidding. It's completely the back wheels. But I think it's a beautiful model. I think this is going to make it hard for me to place in my collection somewhere, because it probably lengthwise and even height-wise it would fit, although it would be a squeeze. So yeah, I don't know. But I think it's cool. Yeah, like I said, I got a couple of them, so in another video I'll show another one. I went for this sort of style though, because it's the one that is the most nostalgic for me. Okay, so let's do the thing where I look at the cars that we did and and give them another little once over. So, tractor, very cool. HELLDRIVERs, super cool, just super cool. And actually, I'm gonna put this sideways because the size of it is so cool. This Rally Datsun Z, amazing. I love it. It's ridiculous. This Inno64 Fairlady Z, that rolls, is the winner, obviously. It like hands down is the coolest car from the day. Just in terms of like pure aesthetic and surprising features, like the rolling from Inno64. It's just a beautiful car. This one is maybe the most charming. These two, I think, are probably tied for the most charming. And they're Greenlights, which is a surprise. This Hot Wheel, I really like. This Hot Wheel, I could take or leave, to be honest. This Hot Wheel and this Tomica, I'm gonna put them back here with the take or leave. I guess I don't really have an affinity. So these are not bad cars by any means. This Hot Wheel is also, actually no, this is a bad car. The Fit is a bad car. And this M3, I could take or leave. So, in case you're keeping track, Joey's opinion. these three, Datsun Baja Z, the Dodge D100 World's Fair HELLDRIVERs, and the Nissan Fairlady Z from Inno64. Amazing. All three of these I would recommend to anybody. With the Greenlight, you're gonna have to watch out because you might have some issues. Like with this one, I had to flip the wheels around because the white lines were not circles. I don't know why Greenlight has so much trouble with circles. How hard is it to draw a circle by hand? It's not that hard. These two, the Hotwheels Bentley Continental GT3, surprisingly good. I thought I was taking a real chance by picking it up. I thought I'd end up with something like this, the other Bentley Continental GT3 from Hot Wheels, which is garbage, but actually wound up with a really cool, like maybe one of my favorite Hot Wheels. This Greenlight tractor, also really cool. The Honda and the fuck do they call Hondas here? Acura, I mean, they call them Hondas here too, but I don't always understand the double naming convention thing in modern times. Like, I understand that, like, Volkswagen called the Golf the Rabbit at first, but then they called it just the Golf. They didn't sell the Golf and the Rabbit. Anyway, so the Honda NSX and the Acura NSX, not equally cool. The Tarmac one is got suspension and slightly more detail. This one's a nicer color though, the Hot Wheels one. The Skyline's okay. I mean, it's way better than the first one. The M3, it's hard to make a bad M3, but they sure did make a boring one. The Fit's a cool car that they made terrible by putting Jun motors all over it, and this is just a piece of shit. Pardon my French. I hope that you are having a good night.